Thank you, Mr. President. I also would like to offer a memorial on behalf of Army Colonel Charles Kettles, who was Medal of Honor recipient, passed away at the end of January and was laid to rest last week while the Senate was not in session due to the inclement weather. And I appreciate the senator from the 18th District indulging my desire to offer this tribute today, although he was from his district. Colonel Kettles was a helicopter pilot in the Army, served our country during the Korean War, and then actually left the military, continued his reserve service, and lived in my district for a period of time. And then as the Vietnam War progressed, he volunteered for service, and having flight training already, was cross-trained as a helicopter pilot and was assigned to the 101st Airborne Division and flew a number of flight hours in Vietnam. Most impressive of his accomplishments was the battle that he supported in May of 1967, evacuating more than 40 soldiers who were under intense enemy fire, returning to the battlefield multiple times. There were aircraft that were destroyed along the way. He had an aircraft that was leaking fuel, which, as you can imagine, is a tremendous risk when flying. And he conducted this operation at great risk to himself. They evacuated a number of soldiers, and then on their way back to their base, he was notified that 8 other soldiers had not been able to reach the evacuation site. And with no covering fire whatsoever and no support aircraft, he returned to the battlefield to rescue the remaining soldiers. His aircraft was nearly destroyed in the process. Both windshields were completely blown out. The chin bubble was destroyed by machine gun fire. There was a mortar that damaged the main rotor and the tail rotor and the tail boom of the aircraft. I have no idea how he was able to continue to fly the aircraft at all, but he safely evacuated those soldiers. And I had an opportunity to meet Colonel Kettles a couple of years ago, and he was a really impressive man, very humble about his accomplishments. And they asked him years later, because he was awarded the Medal of Honor about 49 years after he returned by President Obama, and they asked him about this, and he said that's just how he thought war was. He didn't think it was a significant accomplishment, and really it was a tremendous achievement and a tremendous accomplishment. He said to him the most important part was not winning the Medal of Honor. It was, we got the 44 out. None of those names appear on the wall in Washington. There's nothing more important than that. And I think that summarizes the gravity of his accomplishments, and wanted to memorialize our loss as a state, our loss as a country, and thank him and his family for his contributions to our country. And again, he was laid to rest on the 31st of January last week, and would appreciate a moment of silence on his behalf.
Senator, would you like your remarks recorded in the journal? Senator requests the remarks to be printed in the journal, and without objection, that is so ordered. Senators, staff, and guests, please rise for a moment of silence in honor of Colonel Kettles.